Thanks, Mitch. I'm golden. I'm golden. I'm looking sharp too. Look at that. All right. Perfect, Christine. Perfect. Hi, guys. Welcome. Thanks for coming. Oh, that's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. Oh, perfect.
Just fun with kids.
Hi, online crew. How's everybody doing at home? You guys doing good? Good to have you guys here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We got about 5 people online, everybody. Got a few people in person that are still walking through the door. We're from other rooms. Hi, Nicole. There's going to be 4 of us kind of presenting with you guys today. We're just going to kind of open up what we do for some fundraising ideas. And we've got one last little slide I'm entering in. And oh, perfect. This looks great. Way better. Replace that one. Oh yeah, now we're money. Okay. Anything else? We're good. Okay. I like it. I think we are rocking now. Yeah, sure. All right. And I'm going to share my screen with the online crew. Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys want to hit a couple lights for me? Thank you. Yeah. Oh, nice. Okay. Well, welcome. Thanks for coming out. Really want to appreciate you guys coming in, thinking about fundraising ideas. I know it's a big deal, right? I mean, it's a really big deal. The success of programs and money coming in, it makes a big difference. I was sitting by the fire last night. One of the people said to me last night, they said they were from a chapter that was didn't have a lot of money and they didn't get to go on a lot of trips. And that kind of killed me because I can tell you from Ferndale, we would be really disappointed if we ever knew that a kid couldn't go on a trip because of money. And so we preface, I think, just about every trip, if you want to go and you don't have the funds, come see one of the 4 of us. I'm Tony Torretta, Nicole Perry, Mitch Davis, and Christine Anderson is our team in Ferndale. And we just want to share out with you guys a little bit about today and some goals. Little background about us. We do have a boosters that raises, I would say, about $15,000 to $20,000 a year. They do a hot dog stand, burger stand for some of our football games. They've got some matching stuff they do. And then we've involved them in some of our new fundraisers recently. We also raise, I would say estimated income from our chapters, probably about 20 plus a year. So our operating budget's probably around the $30,000 level. So we're going to share with you guys, our goal really is help figure out ways for you, maybe take some of our ideas. We've taken them from other people and come up with ideas to help provide you guys with some support. Share some of the fundraisers. And if we have time, I'd like to hear from you guys about other ones. So how many of you guys have people that want to come in your plant? How many of you have plant sales first off? How many of you have people that are knocking the door, begging to get in a day or 2 early, and it kind of drives you freaking nuts? Okay. And they give you legitimate reasons. It's Secretary's Week. Okay. Well, now you're not provided. If you don't open the greenhouse, you're not provided for secretaries. It becomes a little odd situation. We heard from another chapter, Cedar Crest was doing this, and they were doing an early entry plant sale. And we went to our boosters and we said, would you guys be interested in running this? Because of COVID, they didn't have any real fundraisers this year. Would you be interested in selling tickets and allowing people to come in early and make it like, a little bit of a special night for people? So we came up with a price. The do's and don'ts of this one are, don't call it VIP night because everybody is VIP and that could offend people that have been coming early to your plant sale for a very long time. So we've been trying to be real careful about the name we call it. Right now it's called Early Entry Plant Sale. And I'm going to turn it over to Christine. Oh, actually, yeah. So then we do poinsettias, subscription flowers, rose sale, November to remember. And I'm going to go over to the early entry plant sale and turn it over to Christine to talk to you about that.
Okay, I'm not gonna stand there. I'm just gonna talk. Can you guys hear me on Zoom? Okay. I don't want to block the photos, but so our early bird plant sale, our early entry plant sale, this is an idea from Sarah Thomas at Cedar Crest, and so I'll give her all the credit for helping us implement this year. It's always weird to try something new in a COVID year, but it went pretty good. And so how we incorporated this, or how we were able to do this, is we let our boosters kind of take over. And I know at Cedar Crest, they have like a group of moms, I believe, that are just kind of some FFA moms or parents, and they really take it over and make it their thing. So what we did is we contacted our boosters, and what they did is they made this their night. And so they sold the tickets, or all the money that went to the tickets for the early entry went straight to the boosters account. And so how we did it this year is we sold the tickets online, and it was $50 for a ticket. And that ticket included 2 people to get into the early entry plant sale. And they got a swag bag, which was full of like some goodies and some gardening stuff. There were, some snacks. There were door prizes for everybody. So everybody ended up with some kind of door prize at the end of the night. And then if it was a non-COVID year, it would have been like you show up and there's like snacks and hors d'oeuvres out, something to drink. But just because it was COVID, we didn't do the food. So they got that stuff. And then was there any other free stuff that they were given?
No, they got some killer door prizes. One was like a massage. There was, cool stuff they went out and got. And so people really enjoyed it. I think that we could easily sell probably 50 to 100 tickets every year. We're going to do some things differently. We're not going to put anything online next year, just because I think it offends some of your longtime customers. So we have to be a little careful about that, because we have people that have been coming for 20 years on the very first day when it opens. But I think it's a good thing. We thought it was a good thing, and it did turn out really well. We are going to put it back to the drawing board, but I think this year at the end we sold about 30 tickets, if I remember correctly. So you can do the math. At $1,500, and 100% of that money went towards scholarships. And one of the things they did too is they went out and asked former students from Ferndale. Actually, Mr. Davis did this. Went out and he texted some former students and asked them, "What did you do with your scholarship?" They sent a very quick 1 paragraph or 2, and then she made these really killer boards as they walked in the door on like chicken wire, and it had all the pictures of all of our former students that got scholarships. Not all of them, but like 10 students, along with a short description on what they used the scholarship for. So it was a really positive thing. They decorated up the greenhouse really cool. They put strung up lights. The picture just doesn't really honestly do it justice. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So this picture just shows some of the decorations that the main gal that was helping, she actually just took her son's graduation decorations and put them in the greenhouse, and then afterwards used them at home. But like Tony said, there's some things that we've learned, some do's and don'ts. And so when we opened up the early bird sale, we had it open for 2.5 hours. And what we found is that everybody showed up. It was 5:30 to 8. Everybody showed up 5:30, between 5:30 and 6. And then it was really busy during that time. So we might actually shorten that window, because then towards the end of the night, there was nobody there. We're just kind of like hanging out, We'll probably could have made this an hour and a half. The other thing is that because it was so busy, people knew kind of what they wanted right off the bat. They wanted hanging baskets. And so then the line got really long for cashing out. So we'll definitely have like 2 cash out lines kind of at a minimum to keep that moving. Also, so you're not blocking like the aisleways as people are trying to shop too. So we kind of had a little bottleneck there with our cashier line. And then the other thing that caused a little bit of confusion is because the boosters sold the tickets for the entry, then they were able to do it online, and you could use, so you ordered it online, you showed up and you paid with a Square. But then at the FFA plant sale, we only accept cash or check. So that did cause a little bit of confusion. Oh, well, I thought I could pay with my debit card, and they didn't have cash or check on them. So to avoid that confusion and any frustration, we're going to just hand sell tickets next year for entry. And so try to maybe help me out here with like we'll like pre-print the tickets for next year.
Take books next year and give them out to people. I think that will go a lot more effectively. You can have those personal conversations. Like, what is it? How does it work? That kind of stuff. When you put stuff online, it just sometimes new things cause a lot of confusion. So we learned a lot from that. I was batting a little cleanup online. But yeah, it went really well. And obviously people were excited about it. And it's kind of amazing. You know, some people like I'll pick on my dad. My dad's like, $50 to come in the plant sale early. And I'm like, Dad, it's for scholarships. Oh, why don't I give you 100 then? Like, it's just like, for some people, it's an opportunity to donate a little bit. And, you know, just talking about it and what it goes for. It was awesome.
I'm not sure if this is allowed, but is there any reason why the Booster Club couldn't use for the plant sale part of it?
Yeah,
That's an issue?
you want to be real careful commingling of funds. Yeah, you want to be real separate lines on that. I know there's been some schools have done like their boosters came in and bought every plant in the plant sale for COVID and some weird stuff like that. And then they sold them for them. But yeah, I would be a little careful about that. But that is a good question. Next one we'll talk about is poinsettias. Christine, you want to give a little background on that?
Does anybody sell or grow poinsettias at their school? Okay, so when I taught on the east side, we did not grow any does anybody on the east side grow poinsettias? I'm just curious. Of the state? No, okay. We did not grow them just because it was really hard to get them. And then there was a year that we were able to like grow them, and I had to go haul them over from Western Washington. But being up here in Whatcom County, we have a lot of greenhouses that grow poinsettias. And so if you went on the Smith Gardens tour the other day, they're a big support for horticulture programs in the state, and they actually donate poinsettias to us and a few other schools where they'll come drop them off, or we'll just go pick them up because they're so close by. But we grow them in class kind of as a project, and then we sell them as a FFA fundraiser. They're just like the 6-inch containers. They're red because that's the only ones that Smith Gardens grow up here. They grow them for like the Home Depot, like that Black Friday sale after Thanksgiving.
So when you buy stuff to use as a class project and then sell it as FFA for FFA funds, how does that work purchasing stuff? Do you purchase it with FFA now, or do you purchase it with
well, specifically for these, we actually they donate all of them to us, and so because of that, you know, we can give the kids one to take home, and then the rest go into the sale. But for that question, you know, because we do buy things for the plant sale, and then when there's leftovers, you know, I let the kids take certain things home, and so that gets a little bit gray on like what was actually purchased. Do you have any comment about that?
Yeah,
fuzzy line?
I was just gonna say, our FFA buys the plants, but because the pots, the soil and all that stuff is the learning tool,
Mhm.
CTE pays for
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
And our director has been pretty good about it too, but a lot of times we'll just buy all the containers and stuff out of FFA accounts. So yeah, that's a good question.
You want to keep it separate as much as.
my district makes me a separate, so I have like a greenhouse farm account, and so that
Use or
is what it is. Yeah, and then I can pull out of that account if we want to use it. Usually we just use that for facility stuff and increase, like, hey, we're building a barn for FFA out of our plant sale, and don't use it for actual FFA events. But if I want to, I can be like, hey, greenhouse is going to sponsor like state trips for these 5 kids.
If anybody is interested in growing poinsettias and hasn't had a chance to do that, I'd be happy to talk to you and get in touch with our support person, and then we just sell them for $5, and then we buy the pot covers, just slip in the pot cover. It's a good price, and they're usually pretty decent quality, except for 1 or 2.
On to subscription flowers. So Christine does an awesome job, and I gotta tell you personally from my angle, I love subscription flowers. You pay like $40 at the beginning of the year. She does it through her floral class. I'll tell you, it is so cool when that shows up in my classroom and I take it home. And I don't know if you guys are like me, but you didn't buy somebody something and you're heading to their party and you're freaking going, oh my and gosh, what am I going to do? And you're looking as you're walking through your house and you're going, dude, they would love that. So go ahead, Christine.
Yeah, I would say the price has gone up a little bit.
Okay.
Since
I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's worth every penny.
we didn't run our floral class last year just with COVID, but I think the last year we did it was $80 to sign for subscription flowers. And I know there's a lot of other schools that do similar programs, or they'll do like a seasonal arrangement for a set price. But I think we ran it for $80, and basically it was like a 10 month, September through June. The class created, so what they do is they'll research, okay, what is going on this month and what type of flowers are in season, or what's a holiday we can kind of work around, and they'll spend some time researching. So I have all the kids research, and then they come up with an arrangement or craft idea. They usually come up with like 2 ideas, and then they'll present it one day in class with a material list and a price list and kind of some basic instructions. So it's fun to kind of let the kids be creative, just look around at what there is out there, to learn about the flowers too. And then we'll make something and then we deliver it to their customer. So each student has a customer, and it's somebody usually at the school that works at the school that they're assigned to all year. And then we'll do like a little handwritten card that goes with their arrangement. I would say that this is not necessarily a fundraiser. It's more of a service that we provide for our staff. When you really look at the numbers, because we're not really making a lot of money on it. Flowers aren't the cheapest thing to buy, but we try to reuse like our vases, or like this one on the left. These are just some pumpkins that my mom actually grew out at our farm, and she had like 100 of these little pumpkins, and we just were able to use those. So we try to do quite a bit cost cutting, and then in December we'll give them a poinsettia, or we'll take some of the poinsettias that maybe don't look as healthy, but we'll cut the flowers and the bracts, the little flowers off, and we'll make like a centerpiece arrangement or something with those. So we try to cost cut on that, reuse vases, and that's like basically $8 a month. You get something kind of cool. So
And it's a good transition to go to the rose sale, because you can actually upgrade your subscription flower arrangement and get a little bit bigger arrangement.
Mm-hmm.
And
So question on that.
Yeah.
Speaking of the separate accounts, like a greenhouse account, an FFA account, and then your CTE account, I'm assuming that you're buying your flowers from your CTE consumable account.
For the subscription flower program, that comes out of FFA money, because those customers pay like $80 at the start of the year, and then every month they get something that the kids make, and so that is purchased through FFA money. If we're doing something just as a class project that the kids get to take home, or they're learning something different, then that comes out of CTE money.
Okay.
So yeah, the rose sale, we just do simple rose wraps. This is for February, for Valentine's Day. We open it up for the whole school as a fundraiser. I learned how to make these when I did my student teaching at Ferris a long time ago, but I don't even know if they've opened a school, and I don't even know if they have that program anymore. I don't think they do. But they had a really neat floral shop that people could show up and order arrangements and balloons and that whole bit. But we do these rose wraps for $5 with just a single rose with a water tube, some filler and greenery, and the kids wrap them, tie ribbon. Then we deliver these during the school day to students who bought them, and then we also upgrade to like a half dozen or a full dozen wrapped like this. And then for our subscription flower customers, this is what we give them for that month, or they can upgrade to a half or full dozen. And then for our subscription customers only, we'll arrange them in a vase, just because it takes a lot of time, and they're kind of our specialty customers. And so if they want, like I know Mr. Torretta, he does this every year, so he always upgrades to like a full dozen.
it's a good choice.
Because he knows that he's gonna.
Good choice.
It
does. It does. Okay. Oh, I'm not sorry.
No, I can
Okay.
fix it.
So how many of you guys get called and asked for auction items for different stuff? Anybody? Okay, so we get called from our ASB boosters, and we're always trying to come up with auction items we run a auction through our boosters every other year for at our banquet. It's kind of an interesting concept, because just doing it at a banquet, it's kind of unique, but it's kind of fun. And so we do it every other year. And then we do a silent auction every year. And so we came up with an idea. Our ASB boosters, not our own boosters, came to us and asked us if we were willing to put in something that would be an auction item. And we all thought, what can each one of us do that would be kind of a fun thing that could provide some cash for our chapter. Our ASB gives us a deal at boosters, gives us a deal that basically 80 or 90% of all money they do that night gives right straight back to your program. Okay. So I make wreaths, and I love making wreaths. I think we make at least 300 wreaths a year, probably, plus swags. I'm guessing, I don't even know how much that would be. $6,000, $7,000 fundraiser maybe each year on that. And then we threw out an idea of doing a holiday wreath with an ag advisor and students. So November to Remember is what we came up with, this idea for this fundraiser. So what it is, a student and a person from the community work together for one evening. One of my pairs, all of our pairs actually, is a professional chef. She offered to do a meal for that night in the Hall of Golf. She's incredible. And so we did wreaths, custom fishing rod, custom floral centerpiece, and then a metal arch project. So I think up first is me talking about wreaths. Basically we made a premium wreath. So it's not something we would have normally sold. It's a much bigger one, as you can kind of see from the size of those things. So we did the demo. So making a wreath for most people takes probably about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. You put two people on and a skilled kid with somebody from the community, not too many people in the classroom. We got it done in about an hour or less with bow and everything. And our students helped them tie their bows. Anyways, I'll turn it over to anybody have any questions about that before I move on. Okay.
Say 5 people all bid on that same idea.
Oh, great.
And then you
Yeah.
got 5 experts?
Yeah, so we had 5. Yeah, in fact, that kind of happened. So we had a bunch of people that wanted to go in together. So they bought 5 certificates, and they came in and did it. Yeah, that's a perfect question. So yeah, okay. Next one. Okay, so I'll go ahead and keep going with wreaths and bows. I made a video. I'll show you like 5 seconds. No, I won't. Well, I don't know how much you got. I'll go back. I'll answer questions on wreaths if anybody has questions at the end. How's that sound? But I made a YouTube video. We did something we've never done before. It was kind of started out as a joke. You guys, how many of you made wreaths before? Like, it's like a million pieces. Is it not like going to IKEA and buying something? So somebody, I don't know who it was, we're sitting there talking about it. It's like, we didn't have time. We didn't have help this year to make wreaths. So somebody said, we should give them the IKEA wreath kit. And I went, that's funny. And I kind of I don't know, we joked about it. And then we go, why not? So during COVID, we actually did. We put out all the wreath supplies. We put out boxes with ribbon, wreath ring, pine cone, holly. It took a long time to put all these boxes together, but we sold them, and it went pretty well. But man, I got to tell you, if you ever want people to respect what goes into making a wreath, have them do a DIY kit. Like, it's legitimate. So it's kind of a funny thing. So
Make their own bow. So we measured the ribbon, cut the wire, and so Tony did this really neat wreath instructional video, and then I did the bow making video. And those are available if you want them. You can ask.
They're on YouTube. In fact, both links. Christine's is right there. Mine's down below. I thought I was going to be YouTube famous. Yeah, it didn't work out. I got 300 views, but I was really hoping for 100,000 like our TikTok. Okay, so metal art, Mr. David, it's all you.
All right, so the metal art portion of the November to Remember was my thing. I'm not much in Ferndale of the moneymaker guy and big idea and whatnot, but I am the guy that spends the most on it. So I figure I better help with each and every fundraiser that we do, probably minus subscription flower stuff. But what we did with November to Remember, we sold all of the stuff that the 4 of us do to the community via the ASB auction and our own FFA auction. And I think each of us had roughly 15 to 20 community members in the class. Yeah. So when we did that, the cool thing was you need 15 to 20 people, kids, to come so each person gets their kit. And it was really fun in the class because we started telling our classes about this, and the kids are like, hey, I want to do that. Hey, I want to do that. And you're like, no, you're jackass. You're not coming. And so it was really fun, even though as church started straightening up going, I really want to do this. And it was fun. So I took a risk on about 4 or 5 kids, and I'm going, oh, God, I hope this works, you know, and it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. These kids, they stood up like men and women, and they taught the community how to weld, and it was great. It was a 2-hour deal. I think, wasn't it a 2-hour deal? Yeah, and then that's what each person did along with the meal. And it was funny. I would walk around the booths and all this stuff, and like, get away, I got this, get away, I got this. And you could hear my words coming out of their mouth. You could watch them grab the community hand, don't do it like this, don't do it like this. And so it was really cool. So we set up a MIG welding station, an arc welding station, and then we had our plasma cam. We did a bunch of dragonflies and butterflies, so they could do the metal art thing and color them with propane and clear coat them, and then they had something to take home. And we even let them weld them to some piece of, I don't know, what was it, a 1/4-inch welding rod, so they could stab it in the ground if you want. And if you use the really thin stuff in the wind, it'll sit there and bend. So like it looks like the thing's flying, which is kind of cool. What I found was I thought most people would lean towards, hey, I want to take that butterfly home, but they really wanted to go weld. So that was pretty cool. So we kind of changed up on the fly and went, all right, kids, keep welding. But yeah, it was fun. We had anything from kids with serious IEPs that have parents follow them around, and they were sitting there doing this by themselves, a couple of them. So I had a kid Cody, he's been in high school, 5, 6 plus years, something like that. And he worked with my dad, and he still talks to dad. So it's pretty funny. They do a good job. It's amazing what you see out of the kids when they come.
Yeah.
Any questions about that? Yeah. One other thing real quick is we viewed a metal art fundraiser that I really sucked at, because like I said, I'm not a promotion guy. I can build anything, but then we kind of fall short on the deal. But basically, if we get an order for something, we make it. I don't go out and promote it a bunch, but sometimes we don't have to. Questions? Back to you, John.
Actually, we're going to go right over to Christine. She is the person that's making the money around here. So 4 arrangements for November, remember?
Yeah, so for this night, you know, it was in November before Thanksgiving. And so we did cornucopia centerpieces for our activity that night. So some of these pictures, when you try to get it up, they're just in the classroom with the students helping the different customers that we had that night. So yeah, this was one of those activities that I really wanted to make sure I didn't mess up, like ordering flowers and supplies. And so we actually did these for our subscription flowers prior to this activity. I just want to make sure that they would look good and we knew what we're doing. And so, yeah, it just went really well. I did kind of like I would teach it in class, go over the flowers first and the greenery, and then just kind of did a basic demo, and then they followed kind of a step-by-step pattern. The kids helped, which was really nice. Like Mitch was saying, it was just really neat to see the kids kind of in that teaching role, and you just kind of let them go, and they really took to it. And it did surprise me on some of the kids that wanted to help, or some of the kids that were a little bit shyer.
So these, you guys do a higher option or what is the option?
Yeah, they were set costs on all of them. And I think we did them on on the one auction, they actually did them as a, not a silent auction item. So people could walk up and just buy how many ever certificates they wanted.
Okay.
And then we did put them in our auction, and I think we just said how many people want them for $125, and we didn't negotiate the prices on them, just so we wanted to make it fair that everybody had paid the same kind of price. So
we sold some in our unpaid banquet auction, and then we also sold some at the Ferndale booster auction. I think that's where Torretta kind of came up with the idea, like, what is something unique that we could offer?
It was really fun seeing all 4 of our programs at one time. You know, it really was a really special night. It was something to remember. I mean, my own parents came. I think yours came. Yours. I mean, it was just kind of special, and kids' parents came too. That was really pretty cool. We had some daughter mom teams welding out in the shop. It was just, yeah. In the fishing rod, there was dad and daughter. I mean, it was really, really special. So, and speaking of the fishing rod, I'm going to turn it over to Nicole, who's going to share with you guys about the fishing rods that they built in theirs.
So the thing that I contributed that night was we built fishing pools. And so the parents that bought those tickets came in and we ordered kits ahead of time from fishing.com. And most of them did 6-foot spinners, but like one of them upgraded to fly fishing rod. That takes a little bit longer. It takes kids in class about 2 to 3 weeks or to build poles, and then even then some need more time than that. The first time I saw this was at the first conference I went to, and they had a mud hole came and did a workshop. Did anybody go to that workshop? And how long did that take you guys? Like 3 or 4 hours?
That was,
Yeah.
when we did our meeting.
Yeah. And everybody came out with
Yours too, so it wasn't like the 4 hour tour that we did this winter. They were long tours, they were. Was it a full day?
Well, then we did the rod, and then we did the first set of the finish, and then we went out fast. And then we came back to our rod.
Did you guys finish them? So when you guys came out of that, I remember the rod. I didn't take that one, but the rods were gorgeous. And I was like, wow, just in a few hours, you guys can complete a rod. So I thought, oh, the parents really do that, right? Because of course, kids use it. And even some. So I thought, okay, like, well, I'll have the parents. We started at what time did we start? Do you remember?
I think the dinner was on
Yeah.
time, like 30.
So I had the fishing pool building people come in at 2:30. And then I thought, we'll definitely finish on the night back to this thing. No, not so. Like the parents were more, like a little better than the kids. But, and we even had experienced kids that had built rods and got really good at it in class. Come in one for each parent. And we still could finish it and they enjoyed it. They enjoyed the process. And most of the parents came back once or twice and took their rods. The only thing I felt bad about is I would have loved for them to walk out with their completed rods that night because people came from the metals shop with some stuff to take home or wreath and such different stuff. So for this next year, we're talking about whether we're gonna do the rod building. Maybe we have those people come in once or twice before that night and then finish on that night, so they have their rod and they can go home with it. Or we do, I know that Mudhole has some other kits that probably take less time, or I haven't done them yet, but I'm thinking, so like some fly kits and some lure kits. So that's a possibility if you just want something.
Thank you, Ferndale. Thank you guys. Anybody have any questions before we go? I know they're kind of against a time clock switch out. Okay. You guys take care. Have a great day. Online crew, do we get your questions answered? Anything? You guys good?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.